Welcome to WMBA 6080, Management Information Systems. I'm Dr. Amy Wazinski, aka Dr. Amy, and I'm looking forward to the semester. I'm glad to have you in my section of WMBA 6080. Let me outline what we'll be covering in this presentation. First, we'll look at the professors. Then we'll look at the course description, the textbook, an outline of what will be covered in the course, grading expectations, contact information, and how you can ask and receive answers to your questions. Now I'd like to introduce the professors for the course. You might say, why do I care about the other instructors? Well, we used a team-based approach to develop the course, capitalizing on the strengths of each of us. We divided the course into 5 modules, and each of us developed and presented the content for our areas of expertise. We jointly developed all assignments, quizzes, and discussion board postings. And of course, I will be grading all of your assignments. Dr. Joy Godin from GCSU is the course coordinator. You may have already met her in an orientation session. Dr. Tridib Bandapade, aka Dr. Bandy, is from KSU. Dr. Jeannie Pridmore is from West Georgia, as is Dr. Brad Prince. Finally, there's me, Dr. Amy Wazinski from KSU. Most students call me Amy, Dr. Amy, and that's fine. You can call me Amy or Professor W or whatever you are comfortable with. As my dad used to say, I don't care what you call me, just call me. Now let's take a look at the course description. Some of you may say, I don't want to do any programming, or this course scares me to death. You know what? I don't want to do any programming either. Been there, done that, no need to go back. Instead, this course looks at the management of information systems and presents a framework for how technology can help or hurt managers as they make decisions. WMBA 6080 looks at technology's impact on business. How can technical and non-technical employees and managers use technology to make decisions, from strategic decisions to tactical decisions to operational decisions? We've all heard of big data, which is simply making sense of large amounts of data. We will look at ways of providing timely, relevant, and accurate data to the organization using technology in a strategic manner. We will also talk about privacy. Do you have any privacy? How about at work if you send an email message? Obviously, that's not private. You're using the organization's infrastructure, technology, bandwidth, domain, etc. What's less clear, however, is how organizations should use the big data and the information gathered from that. At what point does it cross the line and violate privacy expectations? It's difficult to protect customer privacy. Have any of you been the victim of identity theft? How about part of the population that was affected by a data breach? Anybody report their credit to Equifax? We actually have no option there. They are federally regulated and allowed to gather all of our financial data. It's not like I can stop using their services. There are other instances, however. Anybody affected by the Target breach or the Facebook privacy violations or Home Depot? Organizations must do what they can to secure the information and data assets they own and develop a plan to recover when the inevitable breach occurs. Which brings us to Cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is a problem for all employees. As IT professionals, you work to secure the network and the internal and external data you collect, and the products, services you sell. However, those outside of IT must be vigilant as well. Follow password policies. Don't share your login credentials with anyone. Don't try to access data that you're not authorized to see. Don't misuse funds. Don't open suspicious emails, etc. It's a huge problem, and we will be discussing later in this course. Throughout the course, we will apply academic theories to business practice. This is not a theoretical MBA program which explores only academic research. Instead, we look at those policies, procedures, processes, and theories that determine how we can use technology to benefit the organization. We apply what we talk about to real-world situations. While I know you enjoy hearing my lectures, they are very well done, I must admit. We go well beyond that. Yes, we do have lectures for each module and each chapter, although we divide them into smaller chunks to allow you to take a break as you're viewing. We apply what we discuss in class to do a better job of managing projects, a skill that IT professionals and others in the organization must have to improve chances of success. You'll also get the opportunity to learn from each other. This is a cohort program, and your teammates have diverse backgrounds and experiences. We all learn from each other, me included. I always learn new and interesting things from my students. Finally, you'll get an opportunity to use a modified version of SAP to solve a simulated big data problem, and then recommend management solutions. SAP is a good skill to have in your toolbox, and it looks pretty good on your resume. Whatever tool you use for data analysis, going through the SAP project should be beneficial. As mentioned, we will present theories in class and we will discuss them. However, it's impossible to keep up with current events. The data just keeps on coming. For instance, did you hear about the City of Atlanta ransomware attack? It just happened. You have to be willing to constantly learn if you want to use technology in your career. And who doesn't want to, or at least need to, know about technology? After all, a couple of years ago, we would have been talking about the excellent business model that Blockbuster used. Not so much now. In this class, you will get the opportunity to discover trends in IT. We have an emerging technology project that you'll get to complete in your team. You choose the emerging technology that you want to analyze, and you read about it and complete research to learn more. Driverless cars, automated bots for HR decision-making, medical robots, drones. All of those topics sound reasonable, relevant, timely, and may have an impact on business. We'll talk more about the emerging technology project as it gets closer. You'll also get the chance to use Microsoft Project to assign roles and due dates for the emerging technologies project. Not only does it look good to have a working knowledge of project management, but it's a good skill to add to your technology toolbox. In addition, you'll get the chance to put together the information on your emerging technology project into a voiceover PowerPoint presentation. Have you ever used voiceover or not? If not, you'll get some experience at that in this course. You will use big data to analyze trends through the SAP project. We will intentionally complete ethical analyses throughout the course. You should always consider ethics in everything you do. Somebody is watching, no matter what you're doing. Finally, you'll get the opportunity to interview the CIO at your organization, or as close as you can get if you work in a very large global organization. For instance, one of my students worked at Coca-Cola a couple of semesters ago. She wasn't able to get in to see the CIO, but she was able to talk to someone up the line who had technology responsibilities. That's perfectly fine. Let's look at the textbook for this course. Information Technology for Managers, 2nd edition by George W. Reynolds. Ebooks are perfectly fine. International editions are not. They're different. Next, we'll look at the course outline. There are 5 learning modules. Each learning module includes some combination of the following: readings, quizzes, projects, and discussion board assignments. Looking at the 5 modules in this course, Module 1 is Strategy, People, and Processes. You can see that this module includes 3 chapters, while some include 2 chapters. The chapters are grouped into meaningful modules by the professors in the course. Module 2 is Project Management and Collaboration. Module 3 is E-commerce and Knowledge Management. Module 4 is Enterprise and Business Intelligence. Finally, Module 5 is IT Governance, Security, and Legal Ethical Issues. Students always want to know about grading guidelines, so let's take a look. Quizzes are 15% of the grades, while projects are 70%, and discussion boards are 15%. For the quizzes, there are 12 chapters with 1 quiz per chapter. Note the due dates are all on Sundays at 11:59 p.m. You may work ahead if you know that you will be unable to have internet access, for instance, due to travel plans. The projects are 70% of the grade with 3 team and 2 individual projects. The 3 team projects are the Project Plan Using MS Project, the Emerging Technologies Project, and the Business Intelligence Project. Individual projects include an ethical analysis and the CIO interview. Details on all assignments are available in D2L Brightspace. Discussion board postings are 15%, with an emerging technology and strategic growth post and response, and a technology evaluation and recommendation post and response. The discussion board postings are individual assignments. One question I always get is, when will you return graded assignments? Since never is not the correct choice, I try to return assignments within 1 to 2 weeks of the due date. If I'm going to be unavoidably late, I will post to the announcement board and let you know. Note that I do not grade discussion board postings until the post and response are both completed. You may absolutely submit early, but it's highly likely that I will not grade early. Each of the quizzes is automatically graded. If you believe a quiz question was incorrectly marked wrong, please follow the grade appeal procedure described in D2L Brightspace. If you want to talk to me, how can you find me? You are always welcome to text me or email me from D2L. However, I cannot respond directly to your messages from outside of D2L. So if you want the fastest response, please email me from your preferred email address directly to my kennesaw.edu account. I typically respond within 1 to 2 business days. If you ask a non-urgent question and or one that takes a while to find the answer, then it may be longer than typical. I often respond the day you send me messages. If you want to talk to me, you may call my KSU office phone, although I'm rarely in the office. If you leave a voicemail message, however, I will be notified via email and will respond. You may also call me on my personal cell phone number. Text only unless we schedule a telephone conversation. You're welcome to connect with me via LinkedIn. I don't check in and provide updates there as often as I should, but I welcome you as a connection. I'm also available via Skype, WhatsApp, Google Hangouts, etc. I ask that you schedule a video call prior to your call. If you prefer another platform to video conference, like FaceTime, let me know and I may already have an account there. If you're ever looking for me, my ID is almost always AWOSY, A-W-O-S, Zebra Cat Zebra, Y. That's my first initial and the first 7 letters of my last name. The email address I was given back in 2000 by KSU. And nobody else ever has this as a user ID, so I stayed consistent. Would you like to learn more about me, my work experience, academic experience, family, teaching and research interests, etc.? Take a look at my intro video posted in D2L Brightspace. Finally, let's look at how you ask questions. I gave you all of my contact information previously, so feel free to use whatever medium is most relevant for your context. I do ask that if you have a question about an assignment or project, please post it on the Q&A discussion board in D2L Brightspace. If you have the question, others probably do as well. And if you or another student knows the answer, post it. You don't have to wait on me. If, however, the question is more personal and not something relevant to the rest of the class, then send me an email or use the other methods of contacting me described previously. Let's look back and make sure we covered all the topics here. I welcomed you to the class and introduced the professors who collaborated together to improve the course for you. I described the intent of the course and its focus on how technology can be used to improve organizational effectiveness. This is not a programming course. You may review the textbook and acquire it in whatever medium is best for your needs. I then went through a fairly detailed outline of the course, followed by grading guidelines and expectations. Finally, I told you how to contact me and what to do if you had questions. Let's get started.